in order to use some of the testing, we need to be able to identify which of the testing is actually viable or good to be used in testing the candidate, to be called for interview and so on. So reliability here means consistency. We want to apply or use only test tools which produce reliable data, reliable output or reliable result. Based on that reliable data or result, we will get the validity, we get the ability of the tools, and only then we can use that the tools for selection. As you can see in the screen, the keywords for reliability is that it will produce a consistency of the result. And validity refers to the accuracy of the result. So it goes together. The tool must be reliable, and it always produce an accurate findings of the result. So how do we validate the test? So there are 5 steps taken here on how to validate the test. The test, number 1 is analyze the job, what actually the jobs, after we have done the job analysis, we come up with job identification, and at the end of the day, we have job specification. Based on, this is what analyzing the job refers to, So we have the job specification. We know who are actually the candidate that we are going to choose. What are the we can predict. We can we can portray what actually, how the traits, attitudes, and behavior of this candidate. So this is what we call analyzing the job that we require the new employees to come in. And then we choose the test. And when we choose the test, the one that you will use to do the selection, we administer the test properly. Maybe we want to test, we want to apply the test for a duration of time. Some testing involve 1 or 2 days. Some testing only for an hour and so. And then we look at the result of the testing. We relate if a particular candidate score this much, so it indicates whether they are qualified or not. That is what we call relate your test score and criteria, number 4. And then we cross-validate. Maybe we choose several testing, and we look across the result across the testing, and we will find out that this particular candidate meet our expectation by getting through some of the testing that we give to them. That is the reliability. And then the validity, actually we have 3 types of validity: criterion validity, content validity, and construct validity. So basically the ideas of this criterion, content, and construct, for example, criterion is in which when we use a test, there are some measurements, some items used, in which we look at the score of the criterion, whether the employees, the candidate achieve the expectation score. And then content, actually the item used in the measurement really asks the right question that we expect to be part of the job specification that we need. Construct validity, because sometimes when we use questionnaire, we actually, that questionnaire actually representing particular variables. For example, efficiency. So in efficiency, there are some items that we measure. So we want to know whether, and then perhaps another variable is patient. Patient has some measurement. So this patient efficiency is what we call construct. So we look throughout the construct whether the score meet the expectation or not. Sometimes the testing could be unreliable. Why it is unreliable? Because physical condition. Sometimes we apply or we prepare a test that do not suit the physical abilities or physical condition of particular candidates. Maybe the candidate is not, is sick, for example, ill, sick. So because of that, maybe we might apply testing tools which is not right for him. Maybe if he or she take the test in other times, he could answer it well or correctly, but because of the physical abilities or physical condition, it's not it's not right for him or her to take the test, then we could misuse the result. Yeah, and then this also similar to the second one, differences in the test taker health issues. Differences in test administration. For example, some of the testing should be done in different approach. However, we might use another approach. Yeah, we might use another approach. I'm trying to say like this. Yeah, if we do research, we distribute questionnaires. Through whether randomly or maybe through the head of any particular organization. I'm using the analogy of doing research in explaining this. Yeah. So what happened is sometimes either method would not produce expected purpose. So this is what we call differences in test administration, which might not suit, which might not suit the expectation of finding the right candidate, because the way we administer it is wrongly done and so on. And then sampling, last one is maybe this group of candidate actually do not target the right group of candidate. Maybe our method of advertisement, or maybe we are using by word of mouth and so on, and maybe through the job expo, for example, we do not really get the right target. So at the end of the day, those candidates who apply for the job are actually not those who we really have in mind to work with, to work in our organization. Yeah. Okay. So reliability. These are the two graphic chart which show what actually reliability coefficient is about. The left one, the dot represent unreliable dot in which it's scattered everywhere. So this is not a good reliability coefficient. In words, we refer this as not meeting the right target. The second one, the right one, is actually highest reliability coefficient, in which almost all the dots come nearest to the line in the middle. So basically, when we have a good testing tools that can be produced into result, the scoring, the scoring should be look like the right one. Yeah. So meaning to say, if the scoring is look like the right one, which has highest reliability coefficient, basically we meet the target of finding the right group of candidate to work in our organization. As I always compare to doing research, yeah. When you do research later on in your last semesters, this is what you should produce in the reliability of your data later on. You should have the one look like in the right side. Yeah, all the dots near located near to the line, not like on the left side, scattered everywhere. This means that your tools is not, you are not using the right tools, or maybe the way you administer it is wrongly done, and etc. Yeah?